Sup fans, welcome back to my channel. Welcome to another retro physical media review, and today we're quickly gonna be looking back at this one last time, folks. I already covered this lots of times ago in my YouTube video, but we're gonna take a look at it one last time. We're gonna take a look back and quickly review Gamera The Complete Collection Blu-ray set from Era Video, coming up right now, and I hope you guys enjoy the show. Alright guys, quiet on set. Scene 1, take 1. Action. Boom! Now, if you enjoyed this video, make sure you guys leave a like, comment, and subscribe, and make sure you share with your friends, and also hit that bell for notifications because, well, it does help us out a lot. And if you're new here, welcome, sit down, relax, and enjoy the show. And I would kindly appreciate if you guys do hit the subscribe button because I am trying to reach 1,000 subscribers by the end of the year, so let's make that happen, folks. All right, so before I get on, just quickly get back and, say like a little, looking back review of this. This is take a look at the showcase, table, and take a very quick look at the packaging here because I already showed it off already before and more in depth, but yeah, let's take a quick look back at the packaging. All right, guys, hope you guys don't mind me over here. Gonna do a little showcase here on the table of this box set. So, gotta show off the box set here. I still have the J card, but I just don't know where I put it down in the basement. But yeah, beautiful artwork here by Matt Frank. Here we have the listings here. Hopefully I'm angling it right. Just showing the bottom, the top and bottom. So the back, Gamera shell. So, you also get the sides here. You get the movies, the Matt Frank comic collection, and right here, it is the booklet up for the collection. So let me just show off the movies here. It's a nice book. And the same thing here. Just set this on the side here. Open it up. Get the movies, Gamera versus Gauss and Barugan. Well, I said it wrong, but yeah, we have the movies here, and this is better than Criterion's, but still not good. I mean, now that the more I'm, when I was binging this, the glue kind of died off a little bit, and well, now the discs are starting to slide and rattle here. And right here, we got a map of Japan, which is amazing. Oh shit, hope it doesn't fall down. See, we have it in English here. Excellent. And you flip it over. You also get it in Japanese, which is fucking awesome. Basically, it's like the timeline and all that stuff of the franchise. And you guys notice here, we got some art cards right here. Basically individual ones. So we got one for Gamera, Barugan, Gauss, Virus, Gurren, Jiger, Zigra, Super Monster, Guardian of the Universe, Attack of Legion, Revenge of Iris, and The Brave. This one's upside down. Next up, we got Matt Frank's comic books. Basically, the comic collection of Matt Frank. Here's the list of all of them. Excellent. This is just fucking cool, guys. I gotta say, this is fucking cool. And that's that. And we got the booklet here for the collection, for the box set. Very freaking nice. Yeah, it's just basically the history and essays on the Showa era, Heisei era, and Gamera the Brave, which is freaking excellent. And yeah, guys, that's pretty much the box set here. All right, now we're gonna switch it over to the review. All right, now we're gonna talk about quickly, gonna look back at this beautiful box set, talk about first video, audio, and special features. We're gonna talk about the video first. So from the Showa era set, these are basically those, Arrow, they had what they were working with. Kadokawa's basically is their telecine HD Masters and all that stuff, which are like, technically they were worse looking than the Godzilla telecine Masters from Toho. But you know what, let me just quickly look at the booklet here. Oops, about the transfers here. All right, so brace yourselves. There's a lot of bonus features, but a lot of paragraphs here, mostly 3. About the transfers, the masters for all 12 original Japanese films were prepared and supplied by Arrow Films by the Kadokawa Corporation. Kadokawa. Gamera, the Guardian of the Universe, Gamera 2, Attack of Legion, and Gamera 3, Revenge of Iris were restored in 4K by Kadokawa and approved by director Shusuke Kaneko in 2015. Why did I was in 1915? What the fuck is wrong with me today? Original 16mm and 35mm materials relating to the English language versions originally distributed in the United States by American International and Filmways were accessed through the kind courtesy of Metro-Goldwyn-Mayer in association with the Kadokawa Corporation. The English dub audio was restored from the original magnetic and optical tracks by Deluxe, who also conforted it to the Japanese masters. Some additional 16mm materials were sourced from UCLA Film Archive. The film elements, which include English language credit sequences, insert shots, and trailers, were scanned on e-film and restored at Restore Studios. Additional English language materials for the scenes were kindly supplied by Shout Factory, ADV Films, and Media Blasters, with additional thanks to Polly Sikowski and Will Uffen. For Gamera the Invincible, the American theatrical version of Gamera the Giant Monster, attempts were made to access the original negative held at UCLA Film Archive, but this is no longer legally accessible. A 35mm exhibition print was scanned in high definition by Legend Films, who supplied this HD master to Arrow. This print was missing some shots of a jet pilot at the start of the film, and although the film source for these shots could not be found. To ensure the uncut presentation, these missing shots were reintegrated into the master using the HD master for Gamera the Giant Monster for the video and analog tape master for the dubbed English audio. As a result, some of these shots have burnt in Japanese subtitles that did not feature in the original American theatrical release and could not be removed here. We hope these do not affect your enjoyment of the film. Additional restoration took place at Restore Studios. Additional picture grading, restoration, and audio remastering work were supplied by James White and James Flower, Arrow Films. So basically, like I was saying before, these are like you would say, pretty bad Kadokawa film masters. Well, they scan these films quickly, cheaply scan these films, kind of like the Toho Hi-Vision masters, into this HD videotape high telecine master, if I'm not mistaken, to be used for theater and television broadcast. But at the end of the day, it creates this very sub HD source where it's mostly outputting 1080i than 1080p. So when you would confront it, like in Japan or in America, when you were trying to interlace it and put it in progressive scan, when you try to convert it into true HD, you have to de-interlace it in progressive scan. It's from 1080i to 1080p, with the results being either a mixed bag or pretty bad. In the Kadokawa cases, they were pretty bad in ways. Like back when Mill Creek released them, or basically even Japan, the colors were washed out, and the sources there, I'm pretty sure they were used at the time, they were not in the best shape. And yeah, the sources look much softer than the Godzilla transfers. But with Arrow, they did the best they could to do some scaling and basically color corrections, and because they're using, with again, smaller JPEG files like with Criterion with the Godzilla masters, but they did some additional compression and some more extensive color grading and all that stuff, a bit more than Criterion, I gotta say. So kudos to Arrow for that, so they can look the best they can. And I gotta say, folks, the Showa era looks fine. It looks pretty good. The colors are nice contrast, and each and every film contrast is actually a nice highlight. Not all blacks look black and not all whites look white. They do not. And there I've noticed a lot of gray crush here and there, but then again, that's not to Arrow's fault. That's more on the transfers and the limitations they were working with. But there were some improvements from the Mill Creek and to here. Of course, instead of 1080i, you're scanning in 1080p, true HD, unlike Mill Creek, which is 1080i. But then again, that's true to the source, 1080i, if I'm not mistaken. Correct me if I'm wrong in the comment section. But yeah, you could tell that they look pretty bad, very soft. So at times, to me, it looks like I'm looking at a glorified VHS tape, and I'm not far from that. But so with Arrow, they did their best they could with these HD masters and boosted the contrast, did some additional color corrections on the colored Showa films, and did some nice black and white levels on the original film. So yeah, but they all look consistently pretty decent. I would say even good. Gamera, in my opinion, the original Gamera out of the Showa films, I think Gamera looks the best, along with, I would say, Gamera versus Gauss. So the original looks really damn good. The black and white film looks starky and nice, and the soft looking textures from the telecine, it looks pretty good. It kind of suits well with the black and white texture and tone to the film. It looks really damn good. And Gamera's Gals is another highlight, which is really freaking nice. And throughout the Showa era, like Jiger and Virus and Super Monster, I think it looks, in my opinion, I think it looks the worst because of how soft it will look, very looks. But it doesn't look too horrendously bad if I'm making any sense. But yeah, each and every film, contrast and colors are good. The thing is the colors, that they really pop and actually bring out some extra detail in the masters. So that is pretty nice. But in my opinion, the best transfers, of course, is the 4Ks because, well, these are in 1080p, finished at 2K by Arrow. These are back then, Kadokawa, basically they created this nice film restorations with the supervision of Shusuke Kaneko, who directed the Gamera trilogy. They created these nice, I think they had Dolby Vision and Dolby Atmos in Japan when they premiered. So they premiered in theaters and I believe television, and then they put it on physical media there, and then that's what they gave to Arrow, but they could only put, Arrow was licensed to an HD at the time. So the Kadokawa Masters, I gotta say, they hold up pretty damn well. Despite being 2K downscales, they're fucking good. Each and every film looks razor sharp. Guardian of the Universe looks fucking phenomenal. Colors on it are vibrant, it's nice. So the blacks are pretty nicely black with whites of white, and I could say there's some gray crush in some shots, but look, it's fine. It looks pretty good. It's not too blown out, it's not too washed out. It's very freaking nice. It's beautiful, it's vibrant. Same thing I gotta say with Attack of Legion. That is so good. There's a lot of daytime scenes and the highlights are really nice. And Revenge of Iris, the final battle in this master, it is beautiful. These Kadokawa 4K masters on Blu-ray, they are phenomenal. And as far as I've heard, that there was a teal tint that was on the Japanese releases that Arrow took out in these releases, which is damn good. And also because Arrow's working with actual film restoration, so raw files, so that is pretty cool. Gamera the Brave, as far as I know, it is the same master from Media Blasters, so it's pretty much the same. Maybe like Arrow did some improves on compression, but then again, I gotta say this, the transfer looks phenomenal. It looks razor sharp, colors are nice, and yeah, it looks pretty damn nice. So I gotta say, guys, Video Cross, it's a mixed bag, but I gotta say, I think Arrow did a better job than Criterion did with the Showa era set. But then again, who knows? Hopefully Criterion can do better with the 4K re-releases. But here, I gotta say, Arrow did the best they could with the Showa era set. They did wonders with the 4Ks that were given to them, and Gamera the Brave. But also overall, this is a more satisfying video package here. So for audio, you get amazing linear PCM mono tracks. And yeah, you also get stereo tracks and surround sound mixes for mostly throughout the Heisei era, and mostly mono mixes. Of course, all mono mixes, I believe, on the original Showa era set. Excuse me. And the Showa era, I gotta say, this the audio quality that really is amazing. The Japanese language tracks, I prefer watching these in Japanese, and the Japanese audio tracks sound, excuse me, crystal fucking clear on the Showa era set. Consistent, it's not too loud, it's really nice. It gets pretty immersive sometimes. It is really nice. You can tell like they had the budget, the limitations that they had with these sources, because these were pretty low budget films, and you can really see the limitations on it, but that's the charm of it. I really like that a lot. But man, I gotta say, the stereo mixes, the theatrical stereo mixes are amazing on the Kaneko trilogy, but the surround sound mixes, I gotta say, even though they were not given Dolby Atmos mixes, the 5.1 mixes are fucking immersive as fuck. Oh my god, the bass and LFE levels they erupt when Gamera is fighting either Gauss or Legion or freaking Iris. I almost mixed up Iris with Virus, but yeah, but Iris, Jesus Christ, guys, the roars and the action scene, the explosions are in your face, and I love it. Dialogue is also crystal clear on these, and the scores are beautiful. The trilogy sounds amazing. The same cannot be said though with the Brave, but then again, that's what I'm going to talk about the English stuff. But with the Japanese track, stereo, and surround mix, I would put it up there. The same thing I would say about the trilogy. I would put it up there with the trilogy. It's immersive, especially there's some scenes where you hear Gamera's son fighting the villain like from far away, and you hear like boom, boom. You hear it thumping, and it's the way it's designed. The sound mixing makes it feel like you're hearing it far away. It's fucking brilliant. I love that. But the same thing cannot be said for the English track. Unfortunately, in the booklet, it said that Arrow apparently they fixed the audio sync issue, because when it came out on Blu-ray, I heard that DVD didn't have this problem. That's what I've heard. But on Blu-ray, when it came out from Media Blasters, it had this audio sync issue, I believe. I don't know if it was with the dialogue or the sound effects, but there was like a second or 2 or 3 seconds off. And Arrow did not really fix it. They try to like shift it a bit, or they try to fix it a little bit, but no, they barely did anything to it. And I understand that from Arrows, that's the source they were working with, because I believe Arrow did address it, but they never fixed it, which I think that's pretty shady, pretty rude. Not rude, but just shady. They said that they were working with the materials they were given, and they could not fix it, or they couldn't just do this and that. So that's why they left it. They did the best they could, but mostly left that as is. And it's like, if you're a fan of the English dub of Gamera the Brave, sorry for that, but I'm someone that prefers watching this in Japanese. But for the English tracks, with all the sources they were given from MGM, they sound pretty good. They don't sound, of course, they don't sound as good as the Japanese tracks. They still sound a bit muffled and thinner and more quiet and flatter sounding than the Japanese tracks. But then again, they're freaking damn good. They're pretty damn good, especially with the Kaneko trilogy. They sound immersive with their 5.1 mixes, and you also get UK dubs and US dubs for those. That is freaking brilliant. Same thing with international dubs and US dubs. You get the most complete, almost complete almost complete English dubs, because especially how they mixed, they basically burnt them in with the Japanese version, the uncut Japanese version. It's amazing. I really love that a lot. I like that there's like, they take some American cuts, because there's a lot of them that are kind of like, they're very drastically different from the Japanese versions, where like there's some stuff cut out. So what they did, I love that what Arrow did was that when they're trying to sync up the American dub on the uncut Japanese footage, they would, when there's stuff missing, like if there's some stuff that was not available on the original American run, they would just splice in the international dub there, and that's perfect. It's actually pretty nice. I like that a lot. But I gotta say, thanks to Richard Squirrel though, the Texarkana dub for the Gamera 2 Attack of Legion, it is incomplete. I don't know much about the Texarkana dub. I'm more of a fan of the original Japanese versions of the Kaneko's trilogy, and also I mostly grew up watching this with the Mill Creek Blu-rays. As far as I've heard, like, it's incomplete. Apparently there's some missing stuff, like maybe sound effects or additional dialogue that's missing. I am not sure, but thank you, Richard Squirrel, for pointing that out. So there are some stuff missing there. I gotta say, some content missing there. But overall, at least we have the Texarkana dub, at least in some way or in shape or form. So that's pretty nice. So yeah, overall, guys, the English dubs sound pretty damn nice. I gotta say that. And also before that, I was confused and all that stuff. At first, I was like, how come, like, the English dubs were included here, but not on, how come they were not included on Mill Creek's Blu-rays? They were public domain, but they're not public domain. They're actually owned by MGM, because as far as I know, I did some research there, and MGM apparently, since AIP, they did most of the dubs, just kind of like the Godzilla dubs, they were bought out by MGM. So MGM has the elements, which is excellent though. So, and also MGM's a pretty cool movie studio that can help out with boutique labels, and I like that a lot. MGM loves participating, so I gotta say thank you, MGM, for the English dubs, and thanks for this. So English and Japanese audio tracks sound great, but I prefer watching this in Japanese. So for special features, guys, I'm not gonna list everything that's on here, but I gotta say, guys, everything from Shout Factory and I believe ADV and a lot of bonus features wise and commentary wise, they are on this collection. At first I thought there was some feature that's missing, but no, they're there. It's just that I needed to like legit explore the discs, and that is awesome. Also, as added bonus features, you also had Gamera the Invisible, which is a damn good restoration, even though they were not given the sources they wanted. Arrow did a great job with that, I gotta say, and the Japanese burnt in subtitles, I didn't mind them at all either. They did the best they could. And some American edits are available here as bonus features, similar a la to Criterion's releases. And they are the Godzilla release, and this is fucking phenomenal, guys. This is, when it comes to special features, with the exception of the Texarkana dub, or just, then I guess more of the audio department there, special features wise, this is the complete package. And I gotta say, guys, this is freaking awesome. So overall, guys, what is my overall verdict here? Looking back at this, yes, if you can find it at a cheap price, which I highly doubt, this is a must own. So looking back, this is better than Criterion's Showa era collection. I hope I hope that Criterion actually steps up their game when they do the Showa era set on 4K. So yeah, and honestly, hopefully we do see a 4K version of this, but they better ditch the booklet. They really need to ditch it. ditch it. But hey, I would honestly take separate, like the box sets. When this went out of print, Arrow printed like this series as separate box sets, and I gotta say, there are, in some many ways, there are better packaging, because you get separate cases and no booklet, so you don't have to scratch your disc, because these discs are already rattling in my case, and that's just crazy, really crazy. And also there were moments where I had to save the disc because some of the adhesive legit like died off. And it's only for the first Gamera film. Thankfully I saved it and cleaned it up, and I did put it back here, but that was like, the adhesive is better adhesive than the Criterion one. So yeah, but with here though, this is like a beautiful set still at the end of the day, even though like I'm not a fan of the books anymore. But yeah, but in many ways though, I also prefer the box sets, or yeah, in some ways actually. So I will, for a 4K re-release, I either see Arrow redoing this, but on 4K, or I would take this individual releases, or they could do the Kaneko trilogy on 4K. I think they can, as a separate box set. I would love for them to do that. Maybe they could focus on Showa era and the Brave. It's down in the future, but I think maybe one day Arrow's gonna want to do a 4K release of this. If they don't do this though, hey, this is for the era of Blu-ray. And if Arrow's just gonna do individual releases or do separate box sets, I'm not opposed to that either. So I'm excited for Arrow to do a 4K release of the series. 4K's already out there for the trilogy, and they already did like the first 3 films, Gamera versus Barugan, and Gamera versus Gals from the Showa era. They already did, those are already finished, and they're gonna be putting out on physical media at the time of this recording very soon. So yeah, I'm excited for the future of Gamera. So that was my retro physical media review of Gamera The Complete Collection Blu-ray box set from Arrow Video. I hope you guys enjoyed the video, and thank you guys so much for watching my video. So let me know down in the comment section down below, do you guys have this box set? What you guys think of it? I would love to know. Please let me know down in the comment section down below. I would love to hear your opinions on it. So this is Javi from JAVIWOOD Production signing off, and hope you guys enjoyed the show. And that's a wrap.